Sif Baksh here. Today I'm going to cover Infoblox NetMRI BootStrap. What this allows you to do is use get locally on a Ubuntu Linux server, and it will give you all your scripts, policies, and templates all stored locally on a Ubuntu server. Pretty straightforward. Pip install NetMRI BootStrap. But in this case, we're going to use pip 3 since we're using a machine that's Python 3. Now, here's my machine. And on the machine, I'm going to be it's an Ubuntu server running the latest 20.04. And I'm going to do pip 3, install NetMRI, as you can see right there, NetMRI-bootstrap. Now, I've already have it installed, so a lot of these things will just pop up saying satisfied, and the package was successfully installed. Now we're going to look for the folder where NetMRI Bootstrap is installed, and that's actually in your home directory under local. So here we're going to go ahead and do a ls-a, and we're going to take a look at the .local folder. That's where the NetMRI Bootstrap package was installed. There's a couple of things we need to look at in there. One, in local bin, you'll actually see the NetMRI bootstrap.py file installed there. And then we're going to cd into lib, because lib is where the actual documentation is stored and the configuration changes that we need to make. So we're going to cd into lib, ls, and we're going into Python 3.8. And from there, ls, site packages. And here, as you can see, there's NetMRI-bootstrap, cd. There we go. And now we're going to see a file called, oops, I forgot to remove it. The one I need to remove is config.json, because that's already have the config in there, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. But what we are going to do, and what you should be doing, is going ahead and copy cp config.json.in to config.json. So go ahead and hit enter here, and then we are going to edit the file, and yes, I am using nano, not vi. It's just easier. Couple things we're looking at here. We're going to go ahead and change the host. I'm changing it to my IP address, and then I'm changing it to my username, which is admin. My password is Infoblox. You, of course, can use your domain name or your IP address. So that's one thing. Here, script roots. Everything else will leave default, but script root is where you actually want the getup repo to actually be. So I want it to be in my home directory, home/sbash/bootstrap. And now I'm going to go ahead and Control-X, save it, and I'm going to cat the file so you guys can see all the changes I made. Now, from here, we're going to cd into the home directory, and see them in the home sbash. Then I'm going to do cd into bootstrap. Now we're going to run the NetMRI-bootstrap.py, and then we're going to run init. But before we do that, I'm going to show you what to run a --h, which is help, and that will show you all the actions that you can do here. So now we're actually going to do a bootstrap init, and I'm actually going to generate an error here. And the reason for that is the folder exists, bootstrap, where I want it to store. So that's a good problem to see here. The major reason for that is the folder have to not exist and be empty. So now I'm actually going to remove the folder. So we're going to remove remove -rf. Now we're going to, after remove the directory, now we're going to run the initialize. So now it's creating that folder, going through the process of downloading all the scripts. And I'm going to pause it here to let it go through finishing, so we don't have to sit and wait for all the policies and everything else to be copied over. Alright, and it's finished. Running through the process. I'm just going to scroll up so you guys can see. It's going through everything. Now I'm going to ls, and now we can see our bootstrap folder seeding into bootstrap. Actually, I'll just do a tree. Actually, let's do an ls. Then I'll do a tree. So now you can see the folder structure here. So start from the top, config templates. Here are the templates. Custom issues. Here are all the custom issues. Lists, policies, rules, script, and then script modules, scripts. Cams, and coming down you see the rest of the scripts, and therefore you have everything that's available to you within the GUI now on premises. So now let's go ahead and edit a file locally here. So cd scripts ls. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and pick this one test Python. So I'm going to use nano, edit, and as you can see here, it has all the usual stuff that you'll find in a script. I'm not going to make any major change, except I'm going to remove test and say testing bootstrap sif batch, and then I'm going to exit. Yes, I'm going to save it. Cat underscore. So now I cat it, as you guys can see, it's there. So now if I run a NetMRI -bootstrap -h, a couple things here. So right here, check, verify if the repo and the server are in sync. So let's run that first. So up arrow, check, let's see what it tells us. So right here it's letting us know the scripts file, before I commit anything, has not been committed. Changes will be ignored. So it's iterating through 168 files right now, or 169 files in 8 folders, to verify what else has changed. So it's going through that process. Once that's complete, we're going to do a get commit -a to commit this change. Then we're going to do a NetMRI push to update objects in the server from the local repo. So this is running through the motions right now, and it's finished. So therefore there was only one change, which is all I made. So now we're going to do a get commit -a, and yes, I want to make that change. And now it's been added. So now we're going to do a up arrow, go back to here, and now I'm going to do a NetMRI bootstrap push. And now it's updating it on the server. So right here, when it's finished and it's completed, we're going to go into the GUI here. Just going to hit refresh here. And again, this is my lab server. So now we're going to edit test 1, scroll to the bottom, testing bootstrap sif batch. So that is how you update a file locally and then commit it to NetMRI. Now there are other things you can do, like maybe set up VS Code or some other tool that can talk to remote servers via SSH and edit files and use get commands to push and pull files. So that's something else you could look at doing as well. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Questions, comments, please leave a message below, and I'll answer those as soon as I get some time. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and let me know if you run into any issues. Thank you.